Well, from the ridiculous to the sublime, having just given you visual proof that pigs do indeed fly, here's Cheryl with your guest.
So long. Did you appreciate that intro, Mr. Allen?
I will take it under advisement and issue a report later.
Okay, well, Steve Allen, of course, joins us now talking about Introduction to Jazz Piano, his brand new video, Homespun video, in fact, right?
Yeah.
I understand this has been going on for some 26 years through Homespun video, and this is the first time that you've participated in this. Why'd you wait so long to do an instructional
People are always
video?
asking me why I do stuff, and the answer is always dull. They ask me. They said, will you do it? I said, how much? They told me. I said, let's start Tuesday. Actually, it's I don't have anything to teach advanced piano players. Most of them know more than I do. But most of the American people, or the human race for that matter, is terrible at the piano, so I can teach them a lot, and I do on this tape.
Now, I watched the video last night. I studied classical piano for some 12 years, and I was always told by my very strict piano teacher, never attempt boogie-woogie. It is not considered serious. And now you're teaching us how to do just that.
Yeah, well, they were right if your purpose was to become a concert pianist. The water should not be polluted. But most people who study seriously do not proceed to that end. And jazz is fun. It's an authentic art form. In fact, the only art form America ever created. So it's worthy of everyone's attention.
So can anyone do it?
There's a sense in which the answer is yes, ... How well is a separate question. No matter if you took lessons for 40 years, you're not going to be as good as Oscar Peterson,
Right.
if I may so prejudge you, nor am I for that matter. But yeah, you can still have fun, and you'll be a big hit at a party. Everybody else will be in the corner necking, but you'll be all alone at the piano. That's the breakthrough they get.
Well, we're not going to show a clip of you necking, but we're going to show
I have another video on that.
you at the Ivories, if you don't mind. Let's take a look at Instruction to Jazz Piano with
Okay.
Steve Allen.
Now walking bass.
It seems simple enough, Mr. Allen. Anyone can do it, but I don't think I can.
Well, from that little snippet, nobody could learn much, but on the tape we show very slowly how the left-hand figure goes. And although even then there's more to playing that particular style, which as you know is called boogie-woogie, than just being given the instruction. I once was in a club where the great Teddy Wilson, one of the young people may not know, one of the great jazz pianists of the century, and they asked me to get up and sit in, as we jazz players say, and I did. And just to fool the people, I played something in the boogie-woogie vein, which is very commercial. Audiences always go like crazy for that. So when I sat down at his table, he said, boy, I wish I could do that. And to me, that was like hearing Muhammad Ali say, I wish I could punch as hard as you just did. I thought he was joking. He said, no, I cannot play boogie-woogie. I said, why not? He said, well, I can do the left hand, but as soon as I try to add my right, everything falls apart. So you can only find out if you can do it by trying it. It's one of the easier forms of jazz.
Can you just tell us one story before we have to go, and that's the Buck Hammer story on the video?
Well, yes, I've played that style of boogie-woogie jazz ever since I was a high school kid here, and also in Chicago. And some years back, about 25 years back, I made a record album of all boogie-woogie solos, but instead of putting my name on it, I attributed it to a purely imaginary and deceased black boogie-woogie specialist who we had a pen and ink sketch of. And the jazz critics loved it. They thought I was much better when I was black and dead. White and living with
White and living is a whole different story.
Who cares about that? There's millions of those.
We appreciate your coming on the show. We should also mention that you're wrapping up your engagement of the Mikado at the Symphony Space on 95th and Broadway this coming Sunday. And of course, we can catch your act right here on Homespun Video with Introduction to Jazz Piano. Thank you so much for coming on, Mr.
Pleasure
Allen.
to be with you.
Thank you.
All
James,
right,
back to
Cheryl,
you.
Steve, thank you very much. Up next, fighting the winter cold like a lot of us.